originated in 1988 by a guy named Professor Ray Budd. He was at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, and he was talking about schools of choice. Really, that's what it is. It's your ability to be able to. It is results oriented. It's the accountability or the children learning. We get the bureaucracy out of our school system, and I know that's one of the things where, as long as the kids are learning, as long as they're meeting their educational standards, fiscally responsible, then the charter school. This isn't run by the state. It isn't run by bureaucracy. Buildings from old schools, old churches. There's even some charter schools that have used old warehouses. And the important thing is the state funding follows the child. So Carolyn Hawksby, who was a professor of economics, she actually went in and took 99% of the charter schools that were in existence at the time the state gains and the ones that have been there for a while. In Michigan, one of the things that people usually say is, as well, proposed law, as I said, it's been introduced in the House and the Senate. It's going to be for the local school boards. Performance. They look to make sure they're meeting the standards that have been set up in the original charter, as long as they're meeting. You have 100% funding per pupil. That means, and the point that's being made here is that there's been, still they must adhere to all state and local buildings. He said, well, I was denied, and I said, there's no money left in that fund. And he said, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to print out the material for my classroom? And they said, well, don't worry. They have the ability to do that because they're giving them the money, and they're saying, educate the children. You know, and I don't have this one written up here, but I had another example of that's so great. So he goes down, fills out the appropriate paperwork, applies, makes the requisition, it came back denied. What's the problem? And they said it's not the right brand. Had a similar experience where some friends were saying that the coaches came to them and told them they needed to get some equipment for one of the original. I want y'all to know I'm very proud of this, and I'm sure that somebody who knows what they're doing. The revenues end up being less than what you've projected, then we go in proration, okay? That's it. I mean, in a simple world, it's not our fault. I mean, we've heard it. We've heard it time and time again. Again, with that, they're budgeting for 2011. We don't know what 10's receipts. But what the real interesting fact was, address our budgeting problems. And if the United States government would think about that, and I'm not saying we could do it on a national scale, but again, is the one thing that we need to address. Yes, sir.